Hi friends, it's Joan at 10 Pentacles Tarot, and today I'm here with our final 10th lesson in the series Tarot 101 for Beginners. So if you've been here since the beginning, Lesson 1 was all about what is tarot and choosing your first deck. Lesson 2 was the anatomy of a tarot deck. Lesson 3 was all about the major arcana. Lesson 4 was the suit of wands. Lesson 5, the suit of cups. Lesson 6, the suit of swords. Lesson 7, the suit of pentacles. Lesson 8 was about good and bad cards and reversals. Lesson 9 was about the best questions to ask and spreads, different spreads to use. And this lesson is going to show you a step-by-step reading as I might do one. Of course, this is going to be in a lot more detail, and I wouldn't be saying all of these things to a client, but I'm telling you so that you can know how I do a tarot card reading, okay? So, let's first look at the steps I take during a reading. And the first thing I do is, it's really important to let a client know upfront what your pricing is like. Of course, they want to know how many minutes of a reading are they going to get for how much money. And of course, setting your prices is all up to you. I find at this time that an average rate is $60 an hour, okay? So it could be $60 an hour with $45 for 45 minutes, $30 for 30 minutes, $15 for 15 minutes, and so on. All right, so this would be, I'm going to attempt to do a 3-card reading. Now, when I say I'm going to attempt to do it, that doesn't always mean it ends up as a 3-card reading. I may start out that way, but I may need to pull more cards for clarification. More cards might pop out of the deck, and so on. So sometimes it ends up being quite a bit more than 3 cards. All right, so the first thing I'm going to ask the person is, after I explain the pricing and how much it's going to cost them, I'm going to ask them what sort of questions they have, like what will be the subject of their reading. If they say, you know, I'm really having a problem with a person that I work with, and I just don't know what to do about it. All right, so let's say that's their issue. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have them choose a deck. So I may have, and you don't have to do this, you can just have one deck that you use, and that's fine too. I find a lot of people like it if they see the backs of the decks and they pick the one that they like best. So here I have my Radiant Rider-Smith deck. I have the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. I have the Hanson Roberts Tarot. And I have the Light Seers Tarot. So just for fun, I'm going to say, let's say that they pick the Radiant Rider-Smith Rider-Waite, the Radiant Rider-Waite deck. And this is the one we've been using. All of the decks here are based on the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. This deck happens to be the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. So let me put these others aside, and we'll get going with the deck that they chose. So before I start a reading, I like to prepare myself spiritually and mentally. So I would take like 3 deep breaths. This is for my own relaxation. And I'm going to do a grounding visualization. And this should be short. So because the longer you sit there with your eyes closed, the more impatient your client gets. They might get a little weirded out. So I'm going to imagine that I have roots growing out the bottom of my feet, in the base of my spine, growing deep into the earth to ground me in Mother Nature. Okay, I'll be grounded into the earth. All right, after I do that, some people say a prayer. They say a brief prayer. Some people do a short visualization. I like to imagine that I am surrounded by white light. So I picture myself in my head surrounded by the white light of God's love and protection. I say, I am surrounded And I say this in my head. I'm surrounded by the white light of God's love and protection. And as I say that, I imagine that I'm covered fully around. Surrounding myself is a white light. And I say 3 times to myself, I'm surrounded by the white light of God's love and protection. All right. So after I do that, that usually helps me feel a lot better. It gets me ready for the reading. Now, you don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want, or you can do nothing. Some people say the Lord's Prayer. Some people, everybody has something different that they like to do that makes them feel that they're ready. All right, so now if I am doing a 30-minute reading and I am in a situation where there are people waiting, there might be, and maybe I'm at a Renaissance fair, maybe I'm at a party, I might set a timer for 30 minutes. I would not have a timer that's tick, 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 ticking. That's going to make you really nervous. But let's say we're doing a 30-minute reading or a 15-minute reading, whatever it is. I might set my timer. And then I'm going to decide next if you have to decide whether you want your client to touch your cards or whether you want to be the only one that touches the cards. Now, sometimes it's good for the person to get their energy on the cards so that, so that the cards are infused with their energy, all right? So what we're doing here is we're reading energy. We're reading the energy of the situation, all right? So let's say I might say to the person, all right, I want you to divide the deck into 3 piles and then restack them in the opposite order. And they might do that. And then I might just start drawing off the top of the deck for the reading. All right, so, but like I said, you need to decide ahead of time if you want people to touch your cards, because a lot of readers don't want people to touch their cards. Okay, then I'm going to say, all right, so you have decided that you're having problems. I'm saying this to the client. You're having problems with the person at work and you want to know what you can do to help the situation. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to show this to the person, but I have this 25 easy 3-card tarot spreads. It came from Biddy Tarot, Biddy. And so this is, let's see. Let's see. Okay, so say this is understanding yourself, but I really like this one. What you should stop doing, what you should start doing, and what you should continue doing. So let's say the client is having problems with a person at work, or let's see, maybe not that. Let me think of something else here. Understanding relationships, and I wouldn't pull this out in front of people. Okay, I would say. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let's do what you should stop doing, what you should start doing, and what you should continue doing. We'll do that after all. All right. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to say, all right, so I'm going to do a 3-card spread, and this may end up being more than 3 cards, about what you should stop doing, what you should start doing, and what you should continue doing in order to help the situation with this person at work. All right, so one more time. I shouldn't have, I just automatically started shuffling the cards. And again, I wouldn't do that. I would just have them stack the cards. All right, so this is going to be what you should stop doing. This is going to be what you should start doing. And this is going to be what you should continue doing in order to improve the situation. And we'll also look at the card on the bottom of the deck as well. So this card is what you should stop doing. And this is the 9 of Cups reversed. What you should start doing. And what you should continue doing. All right. So, all right, straightforward. What you should stop doing. This card is the 9 of Cups. What I'm noticing about, the first thing I'm going to do is look at the 3 cards all together. And I'm also going to look at the card on the bottom of the deck. Because the card on the bottom of the deck to me, represents what is underlying the situation. Okay. So in these 4 cards, there are 2 major arcana cards, the Fool and the Judgment card. All right, those are super important, which means that this situation is a rather important situation in this person's life. It's not maybe just an everyday annoyance, but it's something that really could involve, something that's really going to affect them. All right, so I look to see what other suits are in the reading, and we have Cups and Cups. All right, so Cups are all about emotions. They are about creativity, intuition, and relationships. So that fits right in here. So it's about emotions in this relationship, really, with this person at work that my client is having troubles with. All right. So we have a 9 and we have a Knight. We have a Court card and 2 major arcana. So that's important. Now, let's look at each card as it relates to its position. So what you should stop doing. The 9 of Cups reversed. Okay, so the 9 of Cups is called the Wish card. It's all about complacency, wish fulfillment. It is said that if you get the 9 of Cups in a reading, that you can make a wish and it'll come true. I'm noticing that this is reversed, which means that the energy of this card is somehow blocked, or that the person is having some sort of issue with the energy of this card. So I believe that this card is telling the person, you know what, you need to stop just wishing for things to be better. Okay, so right now you're wishing for things to be better, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but it seems that that is all you're doing. And you're concentrating on yourself. You're not really thinking about the other person and their emotions at all. So all you're worried about right now is, I just wish things would be better. I just wish things would be better. I just wish things would be better. But up to this point, you have not taken any action to make things better. And the second card is what you should start doing, is the Fool. Now, this is the important card in the reading because this is a major arcana card. The Fool is all about taking chances, taking calculated risks, being adventurous. So what I believe that the Fool is saying in this situation is, take some risks with this person at work. Do some things you haven't done before. Maybe one of the things you haven't done is, have you ever invited this person to lunch? Maybe you should take a risk. Hey, let's go out to lunch together. Or why don't we eat lunch together today and talk? I'd like to know how you've been doing. Maybe what this person needs is some attention from you. Okay, some positive attention. Maybe the risk you might take is you might ask this person to go out with you after work to try to get to know the person. So I would say that the Fool card is trying to tell you to be open to new things, to be adventurous, okay? To be adventurous, to take risks. Try talking to this person. Try befriending this person. Try, maybe you could even invite the person, depending, of course, on the person in the situation. Invite him to lunch. Invite him to a social event with you. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that that is what you have to do, but this card is asking you to look at things from a different perspective. Okay, if you always view this person, they are so self-centered. They are so, I can't even stand it. Or they think they are so great. I just wish I was working with someone else. I just wish this would be different. Well, it's up to you to make it different. It's up to you to take a risk, not a foolish risk, not a dangerous risk, but a risk. Maybe you can take the risk to get to know this person, okay? Maybe you can take the risk to do something that you have never done before involving this person. All right, so try to think of something that you can do to get to know this person on a more personal level, all right? Rather than just wish they would be different, rather than just being disgusted with the way they are. Try something different. Try something you haven't tried, okay? That could be asking them out. That could be, having a really personal conversation with them. That could be going out to coffee, that could be going to a movie. Whatever it is that you feel that's something different that you haven't tried, just go for it. Be adventurous, all right? And then what you should continue doing, the Knight of Cups, is the Knight of Cups is a person who is pursuing their emotional satisfaction, pursuing a positive emotional involvement for themselves, pursuing a positive emotional goal. So your goal here, it seems, is to improve this work relationship, to improve things at work so that you feel more comfortable with this person, so that you're not on the outs with them, so that you're not having a miserable time or an uncomfortable time every time you go to work. So this is saying don't give up. Continue trying things, continue moving forward with this situation, and continue doing the things that you are trying to do to make things better. All right. Now, the underlying card of this situation is the Judgment card. So the Judgment card is all about a new beginning. Okay, it can be about a new beginning. So here we have the angel blowing the trumpet. All the people are coming out of their graves. Obviously, it's symbolic of that you need to start anew. Okay, there needs to be a new beginning with this person. There needs to be a new beginning in this work situation. And that's what's underlying the whole thing. Things have gotten old. Things have gotten stale. We need a new beginning here. So we're going to keep that. And let me get some more, another clarifying card of what is another action that you might take. What might you start doing to improve the situation with the person at work? Okay, we talked about the Fool card. What else might you do? That's 2. What else might you do to improve the situation with the person at work? Okay, and the card here is the 4 of Wands. Okay, so this card is about celebration. It's about stability. It can be about like stable partnerships. So what I say, this card is saying, okay, work on building a stable, solid relationship with this person. Okay, I think that is great advice. I think that's what this card is saying. To work on developing a solid, stable relationship with this person. Okay, I am seeing a lot of yellow here. A lot of yellow in these cards. And to me, yellow is a representative of joy, happiness. And so I think that's another encouragement that for you to look at this in a really positive manner. Approach this in a positive manner. Try looking at this person from a different perspective. Okay, so what else should you stop doing? Is the 2 of Wands. All right. This is about a person looking for their future prospect, saying like, what is ahead of me? What can be coming in the future? What can I look forward to? What does the world have to offer me? Okay, and this is maybe you have been looking at this too one-sidedly, and I'm noticing the number 2 here, and this is a card. This is a number of partnership. So maybe what it's saying is that you should stop looking at this as a situation of just you, And, start including this other person, because this other person is part of your work experience. And like right now, if this represents the other person, you sort of have your back to them and you're all about you. Okay, so in addition to just stopping and wishing things would be different and concentrating on your own happiness, you should maybe, stop like ignoring that this person is part of your work and that you really need to deal with them. And you need to start including them as, look at them more as a partner in your work, as something that you can, someone to work with, to cooperate with. All right. So this should give you, and to continue, one more thing to continue doing. So you can see how a 3-card reading can evolve into a more card reading, which it often does. Very rarely does a 3-card reading end up being a 3-card reading only. So let's look at another thing you should continue doing, that you can continue doing. And that would be, all right, the King of Pentacles. Now, when you get this could be an aspect of your personality, or this could be a person at work. But since this is something you should continue doing, it looks like perhaps you have been, in some ways, you have been leading and directing this person. You have been... maybe you have been some sort of a... This could go two ways. Okay, so this could be about your continue being mature, continue being a leader, continue setting the example for the job to be successful financially, for you to do your best work, okay? This card could also represent the person who is in charge of you, your department, or your business, or the actual business. This could be the boss. And if you have been getting the boss involved in this, that's something you might want to continue doing. Or if you have been acting as a leader or a mentor type person, example, to continue doing that. I tend to say that that's probably what this is, that you have been assuming a leadership position. So continue doing that because it's good to be continue being a really good example for this person. All right, so that is my example of the 3-card reading. And then I would ask the person, do you have any questions? Do you have any other questions about this? And they may say, well, can you pull a clarification card on this? I really don't understand, I'm not really a leader in a leadership position, so let's ask for a clarification card on that. And the Ace of Swords is, okay, so the Ace of Swords is saying, don't miss an opportunity, to provide clarity to this person, to provide clarity on the situation about how you're feeling, or to gain clarity. So continue trying to gain clarity, because apparently the clarity in the situation has been blocked. So continue trying to do that, whether that be working with your boss, whether that be trying to maybe mentor this person, or, being an example for this person more. All right, so let's see. Hopefully that helps the person. So you would ask them if they need anything else clarified, and then, that would be the end of your reading. And hopefully that was a helpful reading for the person. Generally, say, well, that's all I have. I hope everything works out for you. And then at this point, they might want to discuss it with you. Some people are very forthcoming. Some people are very tight-lipped, and you'll get used to that. There's some people that just really kind of don't want to give you any information because they want to test you and see, what exactly you know and what you can tell them. Now, some tarot readers are psychic. Some tarot readers are not psychic. You don't need to be psychic to be a tarot reader, because the cards read the energy of the situation as it is, and the situation as it is going to be if everything stays the same. Okay, so if everything in a situation stays the same, it can tell you a likely outcome if that's what you're going for. So, you don't need to be psychic to read the cards. You don't need to say, oh my gosh, I'm not psychic. Just tell them what the cards say. And 9 times out of 10, this will be something that that person can really relate to, and that that person can take and apply positive action from. Okay, so this type of a reading, it's all about empowering your client to do something about the situation, okay? Not just say, oh, this person's really crummy, yeah, too bad, I'm sorry you're in that situation. This sort of thing helps to empower them to do something about their situation, to make it better. All right, so I hope that helped you at this point. You would take the payment for the reading if there is a payment involved. Some people like to pay at the beginning. For some reason, I always like to pay at the beginning. I don't know why. And some people like to pay at the end. So there are people who want to go on and on and on and on and on, and you just have to gently cut them off sometime. Well, I really hope everything works for you. I do have another client waiting. I'd love to talk to you again in the future. Here's my card. Give me a call if you ever feel like it. You don't want people to be dependent on you where they have to have a reading from you every week, because that gets to be unhealthy, because then they are relying on the cards to make all their decisions. These cards should be empowering a person, not making them reliant on the cards, okay? So this is to help you take positive action. All right, so that is lesson 10 of Tarot 101 for Beginners. If you liked this, lesson, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. I thank you for joining me. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is where you are. And I hope to see you again soon. And please leave a comment below if there are any other type of lessons you would like to see involving tarot or any other types of divination. If I left something out of this 10 lesson series that you are interested in learning about, please let me know. And I thank you again for joining me. I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.